Yo, 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 we're back again and back again and back again and back again, doing our thing, doing our thing, doing our lovely thing, man. You know, it's your boy man here, HH, your main man Abdullahi, your main man Eddie, and your main man, it's complicated, aka Daniel, and is it Daniel and the lion? Was that the Bible story?
Well done.
I need
Well,
to change my
Lion's
name too.
Den, but Lion's Den, but yes, yes.
Okay. So obviously Eddie's just sort of still in the mix of just having a shower and sort of excuse his cameraman. So look, man, because Daniel is such an anti person, I'm not going to ask you guys how you are. Because last week he said, oh, why should you ask how
Do you know
people
what?
are
Do you know what? Do you know what? I was thinking about this,
pessimist?
and the reason it pisses me off slightly is just ask me off camera.
But it's rather than going straight into the show, I like to sort of have like a nice introduction because they're not seeing us for a
What?
week.
What if I'm doing bad?
Then tell me you're doing bad.
But I'm not telling you. I'm telling like thousands of people I'm doing
Good.
bad.
Good.
And I don't want them to know like if I'm doing bad. So it's just like
Okay, then if you're doing bad, then just be like, fuck it. So if you just say, fuck it, then I'm
I was
okay.
I was thinking about this. I was like, if he asked me off camera, I'd be more accepting or willing to like share what's actually
Look,
going
I'm
on.
doing bad. I do bad every single day. You know, I every day is a bad
But-
day for me. So
I don't want Gatlock to know what's going on in my life so he can clip it, and then 3 years later, it's now being used as evidence against me.
that guy is
So-
a receipt man. Do you know? I think he's actually going to be like a lawyer when he actually grows. Like when he gets to think he's going to be a lawyer, and he'll be like the worst lawyer.
But I did
'Cause-
put thought into it. But you know,
Thoughts into what?
the whole "how are you doing" question.
So, guys, just to remind guys who may have just joined in, or this may be the first time, this is a Chelsea fan show in name only. We are not actual, real, proper Chelsea fans. So, yes, I would say the best thing is that we follow the team, but we are not cultists and we're not fanboys. So, if you're expecting only positive things and only supportive things to be said, I would say tune out right now. So this is just a disclaimer. If you only want to hear good things about Chelsea, I am begging you, please tune us right now.
Drop a
If you
like
want to
before
hear
you tune
the
out.
truth and you want to hear Chelsea players get insulted if they mess up, well, have a meal, have a drink. But if you only want to hear nice things and always look for the bright side, I am begging you, please tune into some other show. Do not tune into this show. So I've warned you and I've given you your disclaimer, man. So, guys, let's start here. You see, for me, now, I didn't actually, because there were so many games going on, I didn't actually watch the Chelsea Krasnodar game, but I watched the highlights.
Same.
So basically, the games I watched were obviously like what was it again? I think was this the PSG? Was this on the day that PSG played, or was it the
Yeah, it was the
so basically
PSG play.
PSG against Istanbul, and of course the Red Bull United, and then freaking Barcelona against Juve. Because look, I had to watch this because I was like, look, Chelsea are going to destroy Krasnodar. Then when I saw Krasnodar were 1-up, I was like, and then in my mention, I did say, yo, HH Kepa, man.
Does somebody have a TV on in the background?
Yeah, does someone have a TV on?
Sorry,
let me-
Kepa TV. Makotong go.
Okay. Okay, yeah, no, like, yeah. So, I would like it, man. Wonderful, man. So, okay, so look, basically, my thing is, look, because I want to try and come at this whole Kepa thing from a whole different angle. So, I saw the goal that was scored, and my thing is, you could say to yourself that whenever a guy hits a shot and it goes bottom left, it could be quite hard. So the question I ask myself is that, okay, I want to come at this in the most objective way possible, rather than, my gosh, Kepa, you're so trash, blah, blah, I think I could have done better. I'm saying, okay, if Mendy was in goal, would they have saved that? So my thing is that it's not really a case of like your reactions or your reflexes, it's your positioning. And was Kepa's positioning right? Because whenever I see Kepa make a save, it seems as if it's taking him 3,000, 4,000, almost 5,000 years to actually dive and make a save. And that is always the issue I have with Kepa, because there is a lack of confidence when I view him. I'm watching him, I'm like, oh, man. And even when the goal went in, you could even see in his face, he was like, oh, bro, not again. But I just think that it's a perception thing of where there have been so many mistakes piling up that his confidence is so low that I just don't know whether there's a way back for him. And I just think that he's reached the point of no return where, like, I think the only remedy for him as a player is to go to another club. Because Karras was on a whole different level. That's like the greatest mess up of all time. But I just think that for Kepa, it's reached a point of where I'm not going to crap on you, I'm not going to insult you, I'm not going to abuse you or anything, but there's no point in even trying it again. And it's not about giving up or being a quitter. It's just accepting what is that this isn't working, because every time you step on the pitch, you will always have that weight on your shoulders. You will always be like, oh my gosh, is he going to make a save? Is he going to make a save? And with every goal that goes in, it's always going to be like, ugh. It wouldn't just be like a regular goal going in. It will just be like, oh, yet another one. Even if it's a quality goal that is hard to save, any goal that goes in, it will always be like, oh, Kepa. So it's sort of built up this situation where nobody can actually ever objectively appraise you ever again for Chelsea. So Daniel, comes to, like, where do you stand with this whole Kepa thing, man? I mean, if you're Kepa, what do you do? Are you like, nah, dig my heels in, I am Spain's number one keeper, I don't know who this Mendy guy is from Senegal, screw him, I'm going to win by place back? Are you like, let me just call it quits, new country, new place, start anew, start afresh, this just hasn't worked? What would you do if you're in a Kepa situation?
Okay, firstly, I haven't seen highlights. I didn't watch the game. So I haven't seen the goal that Krasnodar scored. I haven't seen the goal that Chelsea scored. I was watching the other matches, so, is what it is. It was a meaningless game against Krasnodar. I mean, I have the predictions down here. People predicted 3-0, 3-0, 5-0, 5-1. So I was like, okay, is this going to be a routine Chelsea win? I'm seeing Billy Gilmore starting, or just like children. So I'm just like, I'm not going to watch this when there's other more meaningful football matches on.
Yeah.
So, not the best for this podcast, I suspect, but we'll make it through. So, about Kepa, there's nothing really to add for me. Well, okay. Maybe, have we talked about Kepa in depth on this show before?
I don't think so.
We spoke about him when we brought up Mendy a couple of episodes ago.
Okay, so let me not assume that people watch Talking Tactics and all this kind of stuff. So, I mean, I've been
Drops every Tuesday.
I've been anti-Kepa since he arrived. So,
whoa,
nothing. It's the truth, though. You don't spend $70 million on someone that I'm taller than. That just doesn't make sense to me. So ever since I figured out that he was like, 6'1" and he had kind of shortish arms, bro. I'm used to having Czech. I'm used to having Courtois in goal. I'm used to having some guy that can, claim crosses and, maybe he's not the quickest to get down, but you have confidence in that he's just a solid goalkeeper that, he can reach every corner of the goal. And I don't know, there's just an air of confidence, with Czech, even with Courtois when he was having bad seasons. Like, there was the one kind of flaw in Courtois' game that kind of Messi exploited, where he was slow to get down to shots between his legs. But other than that, solid. Kepa, you can't trust that he can reach each 90-degree angle that's on the frame of the goal. So once I discovered that kind of flaw, which is a major flaw, get him out, bro.
I think, because we discussed this on Talk Attacks, the way you said that Casillas is short, but he's got very long arms for someone of his size.
It's called the ape index.
So
it's if you know the image of Leonardo, it's Da Vinci, where like the man is holding his arms out. And like he's naked. It's one of those weird things that you see in the science book. Like, why does this man have his dick out in this book? It's like, just why does that exist in my textbook? But it's meant to show the proportionality of humans, that how tall you are, your wingspan is supposed to be exactly that height. That's generally how it works. But there are some people who their arms are shorter than their height, and then there are rare people. You see this in NBA players, NFL players, etc., etc., where their arms are actually longer than their height. So, for instance, I'm 6'2", but when I hold my arms out, my wingspan is like 6'4", 6'5", which means either I should be taller or just I have long arms, right? Kepa, it seems if he holds his arms out, it's probably 6'1". When Mendy holds his arms out, I bet you it's like 6'8", 6'9", and Casillas is a shorter goalkeeper, but when he holds his arms out, he has a wider wingspan. So you can be a short goalkeeper, just don't have don't be short and have short arms. That's kind of defeating the purpose.
Okay. If you're Kepa, what do you do? Let's say you're Kepa.
I was getting there. I was just trying to lay the foundation that from day dot, I've kind of been against the signing. And people are like, give him chances. No, like I don't want to give you a chance. That's kind of where I was at with it. But obviously I'm a complicated Chelsea fan, so I don't necessarily support every player that exists in the club. So what should Kepa do? I mean, I don't know, because I suspected that in the game before, where he necessarily didn't have to play his starting 11 and he made a bunch of changes and we saw a lot of changes to the team, I would have thought Kepa would have played 2 games ago or a game ago. But Lampard started Mendy. So in my mind, I was thinking maybe they're trying to hide Kepa to where, out of sight, out of mind, absence makes the heart grow fonder. And if he doesn't make any mistakes, perhaps you could get a loan in the winter to a Spanish club or an Italian team or just somebody who needs a goalkeeper and is willing to kind of take a punt on the potential that Kepa supposedly has, especially given I think his performances for the Spain national team have been pretty solid, I'm told. So I was thinking maybe just don't play him at all. If you have to play a backup, play Caballero and just shield Kepa. And the more he doesn't play, maybe the less people think he's bad. But then he plays against Krasnodar. And as you said, when I'm watching games, but you're also kind of monitoring the scores, 1-0 already. Like, what happened? I'm sure he made a mistake in my head, even though I haven't seen the goal. So,
it wasn't really a mistake. He didn't. It's weird because people say, "Oh, another Kepa mistake." It wasn't a mistake. It's just that it's a one where would Mendy have saved that? It took a bit too long for you to get down to save it. So it's one of those.
So yeah, I don't know how much his wages are. I don't know that kind of situation where if he's on 150K a week, nobody's gonna want him. So. And I think Chelsea gave him a 6-year contract, so I still think
it's on 200 a week. 200 a week.
Give him a 7-year contract as well.
200 a week.
7, not 6.
Yeah, it was a 7-year contract.
So he still has 4 years left after this one.
Yeah,
yeah, and it's on 200 a week.
Actually, can I ask real quick, who signed off on 7 years? Was it
Marina?
Sorry,
Marina. Y'all.
Marina.
Same one who was she got 10 mil for Eden 100 million for Eden Hazard. Ha ha ha. That's not difficult from fucking Real Madrid. You know what's hard? Giving Kepa 7 years on a contract. The fuck are you doing?
No, that's
people are like, I can't believe, man. But Marina, man, she's this, she's that. Like, they love giving her credit for the good shit, but the bad shit.
No, I mean, like, if it is true that it's Marina that did 7 years, that is horrendously stupid.
I can't shoot her a little bill here. Courtois got down to the last year of his contract, and I think they were probably thinking, I don't want anything like this ever to happen again. So let's give him a big ass deal or a long deal. Compounded with that, once you have to pay 70 million for a player, the way that football accounting works.
Yeah.
Is a thing called amortization, and I'm not going to explain it. But basically, the longer the contract, the cheaper the player is on the books. So Kepa might be worth, just in terms of the transfer fee, not adding his wages, which is a component, but just in terms of the transfer fee, he's worth 10 million a season rather than being whatever 70 divided by 5 is. I'm not good with math, but It's maybe 15 million or something like that. So it kind of makes sense fiscally in terms of like the accounting and how much Chelsea make in a year and the year loss kind of thing. So it makes sense in that way. But 7 years is too long for, again, someone that I'm taller than.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, let me bring in your boy Eddie, man. So Eddie, your Kepa Arrizabalaga stand.
I don't know where this guy goes. So your question isn't I don't know, because who's taking him? His reputation is so bad that maybe you want.
No. That was not my question. No, my question was, if you're Kepa, do you still stay and fight for your place at Chelsea, or do you?
I want to play. So let me. If Besiktas was willing to take Karius, maybe you can get Istanbul or Fenerbahce or I don't know. What's the other one that's there?
Galatasaray.
Maybe you could get an Istanbul club, Constantinople formerly, to to take him. But yeah, it's gonna be like a club in Turkey or maybe a club in Portugal or Olympiacos or somebody like that, you know. But no. I don't even know why they would do that.
Eddie, talk to me. Kepa.
Surely your under 21 goalkeeper is better than Kepa, so just give him the minutes.
Kepa is what he is, man. He was a panic buy from the get-go. And Daniel just explained that, you know, Courtois pulled Chelsea's pants down. They didn't have much. So I think they had 4 days to sign a goalkeeper before the season started, and all of a sudden we heard Kepa out of nowhere. I was a bit shocked about that as well, because the kind of money you paid for that. Yeah, and someone said he got scouted as well. Whoever the scout was, I hope he doesn't.
Sack him.
Yeah, I hope he's been sacked.
No, because my thing is that where did this guy come from? Nobody has heard of this freaking dude.
Okay, what happened was he had really good games against Real Madrid in La Liga. And Real Madrid were thinking about buying him as a replacement for Keylor Navas, I think.
But then they got Courtois instead.
But what happened was, because Bilbao, I think is where he's from, because Bilbao had that interest from Madrid, what they did is they made Kepa sign a new contract with a higher release clause. And, you know, every Spanish player has the release clause.
Yep.
So they bumped it from like 20 or 30 million, which would have been probably standard and normal for his performance at the time, to 70 million. So if Real Madrid wanted to buy a goalkeeper, they had to pay them a lot of money. Even though Bilbao had a better backup goalkeeper than Kepa. So
that was a smart business plan from them, so you can't blame them.
Yeah, it was smart.
But whoever recommended him to Chelsea should not make any recommendations no more. That was a bad one, because I think that was the same window in which Liverpool signed Alisson, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Or I mean, look at the levels between both of them now. And
he's the most expensive goalkeeper ever.
I did mention
sick. That is sick.
I did mention in a tweet the other. I didn't watch the game as well, so I did see the goal though. A routine near post, Kepa missing the ball because it's too slow to go down. But I did tweet this yesterday that we have Mendy, Peter Cech, Caballero, the under-23 goalkeeper, the under-23 backup, the under-18 goalkeeper, under-18 backup. That's 7 goalkeepers. Those are 7 people who should take the goalpost for Chelsea before Kepa touches that field. So in short...
Where's Jamal Blackman, Eddie? Where is he? I've never seen this guy, but he's better.
I think he's alone.
Bring him back. There's no way Jamal Blackman can't be. Is it Blackman? I should say Blackman instead of Blackman.
Blackman.
Where's Blackman, bro?
Yeah,
bring him.
But
he's always on FIFA, like 57 rated. You're like, should I just release him, sell him, whatever the case? But you put him in goal over Kepa.
Yeah, I mean, and in terms of what Kepa should do.
He's in Reading. He's playing for Reading.
He's in the championship. Yeah,
is he online?
There's no way he's worse. Shout out Black Man, bro.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. I mean, he's better than Kepa at this point anyway. So
Jamal, bro.
Yeah, he can come back. But in terms of Kepa, look, Kepa should seriously consider changing positions. That's how bad it's got right now.
He should be a DM.
I don't care where he plays. Hey, miracles happen today. So he can find a position where he can probably play striker. You never know. So he should. I mean, no, he didn't take a penalty. I thought he took a penalty last time. But a change of position is something you should consider because I don't know how he can make it as a goalkeeper in a top club in Europe. Because you don't know how bad it is that the club who sold you replaced you with a better goalkeeper.
Immediately.
That's mad.
I think his name is Simon. Simon, I think.
Unai Simon, yeah. And I think they have another goalkeeper waiting in the wings as well. They have 2 goalkeepers there at the moment. So there's no way he's going back to Bilbao. I don't know who will take him and his wages. Unless Chelsea want to pay his wages for him to go, Mourinho doesn't do that in terms of the business.
Maybe after what happened in the League Cup final, he should just consider management.
Oh,
hey, he should.
Like I'm not coming off the pitch.
Anything that's not goalkeeper, he can try it because I don't know who takes him. Seriously.
No, but you know, I'll tell you this though.
Bilbao finished 16th with Kepa. Is that true?
I'm pretty sure that's true. Yeah.
16th.
Yeah.
So Chelsea bought a player where the starting keeper was in a team that finished 16th.
Who's 16th right now in the Premier League? As long as it's not Arsenal.
Oh, no,
you just missed Arsenal.
No,
I think West Brom or Brighton.
Premier League table.
I think it's Brighton.
I mean, how do you get a guy that's 16th? It's Brighton.
Brighton.
Do Brighton have a good keeper?
Yeah.
Isn't it Ryan?
They've got the Aussie Matt Ryan, yeah.
So actually, okay. So I just wanted some context. So perhaps
Burnley are 18th and have a better goalkeeper.
But see, what happens is when you're trash, you get a lot of shots on goal. So if you're a bad team, the goalkeepers can actually look pretty good.
Yeah, he's going to look good because he's going to make loads of saves.
Do you remember that when the Norwich keeper from last season or a couple seasons ago, they had so many shots on goal that they the Norwich keeper's pretty good. So maybe that's what happened with Kepa. You just the volume of shots. Basically, people expect goals to be scored because your team is bad, but because of the volume of shots that are being launched at your goal, you're gonna have a good highlight package. So maybe that's what happened.
I would like you where you at with this whole Kepa thing, man.
Richard, why do you bring Arrizabalaga out? Why do you bring him out? You should let's talk about another topic. Why do you bring him out? I don't know.
Because I know that you're the voice of reason and you're a very optimist person. So we're going to try and bring something positive here.
I don't get Kepa, man. You put Nakatalenko as scholar. Why are you not putting Arrizabalaga as scholar too? That is the worst goalkeeper in Chelsea I've ever seen in Chelsea era.
He's beyond the scholar.
Worst. Man, do you remember it's a record signing? And is that worst of a goalkeeper? I was the Krasnodar match and I was literally crying. Because that same mistake he did against Liverpool, that was the same mistake that idiot did against Krasnodar. Simple ball. You can't even save. And I'm even done. I'm done with
So
Kepa.
okay, so do you 7 years in here is the blame squarely on Marina or do you blame the scouts who gave Marina?
I think the scout with Marina has this blame. I think the scout has been sacked already. He has been sacked before Lampard came in. So there was a new scout that comes in when Lampard took over. So I think it was the scout. It was combination of three: the scout, Sarri, and Marina Granaskia, because there was a problem with Thibaut Courtois leaving of the last year contract, blah blah. And he want to go to Madrid because of his children and everything. So that it was a desperation to get Arrizabalaga in. I was like, okay, cool. Let's see how good he is. First season was like a specimen. I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep my thought on Kepa. Not at the moment. So then
after he used to walk off the pitch.
After that, he did that blunder in the final. And I lose it.
Do you know how outrageous that is?
What?
Just Caballero is a known penalty specialist who played for Manchester City, who knows where they want to go.
Simple.
And the guy was injured. Do you remember Sergio Aguero's penalty? Where even he was surprised that he didn't save it. It was so bad. But Aguero kind of looked around like, he didn't save it?
Actually, let's just go back to that situation there. You know what? I don't even blame Kepa there. If I'm a manager and I tell the dude, bro, put up that freaking board and make the sub, you make the sub. A player just can't refuse to come off. If
Yeah.
the once the ball comes up, so for me, I don't. Sarri's to blame. Why did you just walk
The
away?
referees as well.
The referees,
referees are-
the
No,
board
no,
went,
no.
the board went up.
Did the ball
The
go
ball
up?
went up.
If the
Yeah,
board,
the board
if
went
the
up.
board
The
goes
board went
up,
up.
the referees
went
are
up,
like,
yeah.
you have to get off.
The lights came on and the thing went up for like 3 seconds, and then Kepa
seconds.
was like,
Kepa was
"Nah,
standing.
I'm not
was like,
going nowhere."
It's just
That is wild, man.
because Caballero is a known like
Yes.
penalty save.
Van Gaal did it in the World Cup
Yeah,
where he
yeah,
took
yeah.
off.
Team crew.
Sillicin.
No,
No,
he
he
brought
took
on-
off Sillicin.
Sillicin.
He took off Sillicin and put on Krul.
Yeah.
And it worked because
works,
Krul
yeah.
is a known penalty. You just got to save one in a penalty shootout, maybe two on a good day. Caballero he played for City. He knows where they want
Even
to go.
Vincent Kompany said it. He said after the match, he said he told Guardiola that once what's called Caballero comes in, it's game over for them. That he knows mostly all their penalty takers.
So-
That's it.
Even before that, I was against this. But then when he did that, I was just like, okay, I understand what this is.
I don't know why he brought up Arrizabalaga. It should have been It should have been inducted in Scotland.
For me, I think this is the last time I will ever talk about it because I just think that this is he's just. You see, I don't like to be harsh. Look, my mother raised a very moral, nice dude, and I think that I'm a very nice dude.
She
Was I?
tried. She tried.
No, she did. She succeeded. She said, "I'm a very nice guy." And people always take advantage of my niceness. So I'm not here just to crap on someone, but my advice to Kepa is, you're not a coward and you're not a quitter by just calling it quits. That isn't anything against your character. Because I think I can tell from Kepa, he's like, no, I'm going to fight. If I quit, then this will just seem as me being like a quitter. That you didn't really fight for your place. So a wise man knows when to take a step back and say, this isn't working. Because who knows? See, for me, Karius, when Karius did what he did, I was like, no, this is beyond something new. I wouldn't be surprised if Kepa goes to a different club and he looks pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised.
Do you know the funnest part?
What?
You're talking about Karius. Karius is a little bit more better goalkeeper a little bit than Arrizabalaga. Arrizabalaga is worse. Another English for worst.
Abdullahi, I've never seen a mistake as bad as what Karius did in that final. I've never seen that in my life.
Do concussions last years, like 2 years?
I think maximum 2 years.
I don't know, because Karius, he had the concussion in the final.
Mm-hmm.
So even though the mistakes were like the worst we've ever seen, like just throwing the ball to Benzema or when he flapped at Bale's second goal, there was still kind of in the back of your head that he does have a concussion. Like that's like a small mitigating factor that the guy has a concussion. Kepa, I don't think he has that excuse, man. Like, unless they last years and years, which I think they can do. But
okay. So a
there's no
concussion
evidence.
can make you throw the ball to someone 2 years away from you.
No, concussion is very difficult to come back to. It's like it takes.
Have you
a lot
ever
of
had a
time.
concussion, HH?
Well,
'Cause
someone
never
smacked
had one,
the
so.
ball in my head. I don't know whether I was concussed, but I was a bit dazed.
Just it.
wow.
So Karius actually has a slight excuse, even though it's not good enough. But it's there. It exists.
Nah, I'm sorry.
I don't know what Kepa's excuse is.
This is it now. We bought a Kepa for 72 million euro as a record signing. Now it was on the bench. We bought another goalkeeper who is far better goalkeeper with like a little bit of price tag, like 20-something hate, and is even a superior goalkeeper than Arrizabalaga. That is a slap on his face. That is slap on his face. That is so bad.
Yo,
that is so bad.
This marvelous guy, like, he actually believes Kepa will prove you guys wrong. Mark my words.
No, he's
Where is he going to get the chance to do this, marvelous? At Chelsea or
he's
elsewhere?
smoking crack, man. He's smoking crack. All right, man. Let's move on. I think we're done with Kepa.
What's stronger than crack?
Timo Werner.
Opium.
Oh, my Lord in heaven.
Hey, I'm like, don't blaspheme. Don't blaspheme. Please don't blaspheme. He's missing a lot of chances. He's missing a lot of chances.
Did he miss chances in the game that just happened, or did he not play, or what?
Well,
He didn't play much.
He didn't play much. It came in 91 minutes.
Yeah, but there was one he had where it was on his left foot. I don't know whether it was a cross or a shot where
No.
it went across the goal and like Tammy was sort of there. But I don't know whether he was trying to cross or whether he was trying to shoot. But he
Yeah,
didn't
no,
play
it was
most of
time
the
to
game.
give it to Tammy. It was time to cross it to Tammy.
Okay. It was a cross then. So you see, my thing about this is that you don't want to go into any judgment yet because, like, hey, look, first season, filling things out, you just never know that this could just be a season where he just, you know,
Was there a
getting
super
used
chat
to
that
things.
you missed? People are
Oh
saying
no.
you missed it.
I'll check. But see, maybe this is a season when people are getting acclimatized to stuff and everything, you know. And maybe next season he will say what's up. But my thing is that you're missing a lot of serious chances, and my fear is it's like a psychological thing. Red Bull Leipzig, small club, not much is expected of you. Even if you miss tons of chances, it's Red Bull Leipzig. You know, the manager is a young dude and everything. Chelsea, major move, massive move, greater markets, greater spotlights. Morata, 100%. Those misses got into his psyche and he never recovered because it's really bothered him mentally. And I don't know whether for Timo Werner, whether how he's going to treat these misses, whether it's like, no, it's fine, cool. Because I'm sure Lampard and everyone's saying, no, it's fine, you'll get on, or whether it's like, damn. Because a lot about finishing, I think most sports people who say that it's instinct. If you think too much, it's got to be instinct. It just comes to you. Once you overthink, that's when you can make mistakes and everything. So let me come to Eddie first, man. I mean, how worried are you with Timo Werner missing a lot of chances? Are you worried, or are you like, he'll come good and hit 25 to 30 Gs very soon?
I mean, for one, I'm not that worried about it because yes, I mean, there's no excuses for the chances he's missing. He's missing really, really good chances. But number one, the Chelsea attack has not fully clicked yet. That's something I keep still saying, which is quite scary to say. Because once that thing clicks, Lord knows, how many chances we're gonna be creating and how many goals you're gonna be banging in. So that's one. And two, I think Werner is that type of guy that can go on a run where he can go 10, 15 games and he's gonna look like he can't miss. So I think he's got that in his game, and he's still trying to get himself acquainted to the league, acquainted to his new teammates. If you look at the Chelsea attack, he's been the one constant, if you want to put it that way, because we've had injuries on the wings. And he started as a striker, and all of a sudden he's had to move out the wings to accommodate injuries. And he's played. I'm pretty sure he's played the most out of all the Chelsea forwards at the moment. So that could possibly be a thing to it, where this guy's played too many minutes that he needs probably rest to get some energy back into himself. But another thing I kind of see with him is, and I'm not sure, I don't know, maybe people who watch the German league a lot, because I know back in the German league the defenses are a lot more open. They play more of a high line. He can run behind. Then he had all that time and space to do what he wanted to do. He had the time and space to think, this is where I want to put it, and all that kind of stuff. But in the Premier League, he's not afforded that much. That I think when he gets it, sometime it's more of a shock to him that, well, how did I just get this kind of space, or how this amount of time on the ball? Because the Premier League, they're keen in on him, or they're keen in on Ziyech, who's on the other side as well. So in terms of him, because Chelsea creates so many chances that we're still going to score. There's other people who will score anyways, which is why I'm saying I'm not worried. But if it was a thing where, for example, like some other clubs, Arsenal, not creating as much, then it will be Abdullahi. Then it'll be a bit of a worry. And another thing is, for me, even though he's missing chances, he's still quite engaged in the game. He does other things well. He still moves off the ball. He still sets other people up and stuff like that. So there's other parts to his game that's working well for him. It's just the finishing. I won't really say the finishing, because wasn't it last week he scored the goal against Tottenham that got disallowed? I mean, if that goal counted, that was a good finish.
That's a very good goal. Yeah,
that was a very, very good finish, man. So I think it's just a thing where he hasn't scored in a while, and then recently he's been missing really, really bad chances or really, really good chances. So that's why, some people are worried. For me, I'm not worried. I think he's still getting used to the league. It's only, 2 months that he's playing. He's been playing a lot of games. He's played a lot of international games, pretty much almost all games for Chelsea. So let's give the guy a bit of a rest. And then, especially in this December period, let's manage the guy properly. And I'm pretty sure he's that kind of player that can go on a massive run without, missing much. So yeah, nothing to worry about from my end.
I think before I come to Abdullahi, I think one thing that is a massive difference between him and Morata is Morata was never a prolific scorer, ever. See, when Werner came, he was known for, wow, this guy's actually scoring one of the highest number of goals in Europe. So I think that is always what is in Werner's favor most of that Morata, because the thing with Morata was, okay, we know this guy's very good, but can he be a prolific scorer if he's played as a main striker? But I think Werner already has experience of, I can score 20 plus goals a season. Morata never had that. Abdullah, he talked to me. Werner, man, how worried are you, Mr. Top Plus Fresh 10?
No, I'm not worried about Timo Werner. I'm not worried because if you look at the German and the Germany league and the Premier League, it's way different. Because the kind of way they play in Germany, they have so much space. In the player, no spaces. Like the defender look like a robot. They just kick you out of the game entirely. So like it's kind of different than the way the German league has been played. So I'm not about Timo. I'm not worried. And the funny part is he has the best movement in that Chelsea. As a Chelsea, like between him, Olivier Giroud and Tammy Abraham, Timo Werner has the best movement as a striker. So that shows like his instinct as a striker is there. So just like his missing sitter is understandable. I can understand that as a player because the migration from Germany to England is understood because he has to adapt to the way the EPL is being played, the pace, the physicality, and everything. So I can understand him missing sitter, but like I'm not worried. I will not be surprised even if he ended up being the high goal scorer in the PL. I'll not be surprised because that's how good Timo Werner is. He just one of he has is at this moment he's having a bad part. So which everybody can understand. But the most funnest part when he misses chances, he creates chance. That's Timo Werner. He makes chances, but people need to understand. He does the same thing in RSB Leipzig too. He makes chances too. But when he makes chances, he creates for them and he also score goals. So I'm not worried about Timo Werner. It will come good. It's not just about this period. It's just about those bad period in which players have. So every players have this period. Messi, Ronaldo, they have this period. But when they hit form, they are unstoppable. That's kind of what Timo Werner is.
So you think he can be a 20 to 25 goal a season?
Yeah. Sure. Because he is that good of a player. So I'm not worried about him at all. At all.
Okay. If I come to thinking, Nancy says Kepa should retire. No. Replace the EPA with an ARIUS, and then that makes more sense. After what Homeboy did at CL final, I said that he should retire from football personally. Daniel, and the Technicolor Dreamcoat. Werner. Or is that Joseph?
Just quickly. Which? Ask again.
I said, how worried are you about Timo Werner missing loads and loads of chances? And do you think that he will come good and be a 20 to 25 goal scorer to say what's up to a Harry Kane or an Obama? When Obama was actually scoring, but
I think if you combine Eddie and Abdullahi, you kind of hit the point. So it's like Chelsea do create a lot of chances. And part of creating a lot of chances is like, okay, what's the most goals you're gonna score in a game realistically as a striker? Like one or two? Like a hat trick is kind of rare. Like they even take the ball home. So
hey, Giroud scored for last week.
Okay.
It's possible, man.
I mean, I'm just saying. I think that was like the first time in Champions League. So, like, expecting a striker to score every chance that's created, I'm saying the point is that's a little bit unrealistic. So, and then you add on top of that new teammates, new language, new country, all of that kind of stuff. It kind of makes sense why he would kind of be a little bit wayward with his finishing. But if Chelsea are creating the chances, then just accept the goals that he scores, accept the assists that he creates. I don't need you to do a hat trick or a brace every game. I mean, that'd be great. You'll have the opportunity to do that, but just score the one goal that needs to be scored in the time that it needs to be scored. That's more what I'm focused on. Like, it's not how many you score, but when you score, that kind of thing. As for Morata, I think Morata, there was something wrong with him at Chelsea. I mean,
wow, that's also quite harsh.
Well, no, our buddy Carl gave us a story that I don't know if we can necessarily repeat, but I think that probably has a little bit to do with it. But yeah, there was something just like when he had time to think, he wasn't good. When he didn't have time to think, when it was an instinctual finish, i.e. a header, where you don't really need to think, it's just the cross is coming, do what you have to do. He was good because there was no thinking process. But when he's one-on-one versus the Burnley goalkeeper and he's running 20 meters, and do I go top right, bottom right, left, between the goalkeeper? Too much time to think. He loses his head, and it hits the, I don't know, rosette or wherever he shoots it. So I don't think that's Werner's problem necessarily. I just think Werner's just a striker who's, as Abdullahi said, he probably has the best movement in the team. But he's gonna miss chances. I mean, people kind of got on me.
And he's very fast. He's super. That guy's super fast.
People kind of got on me that, like I said, like peak Werner is probably like a Cavani type player. Like obviously Cavani has some of the most elite movement in Europe, but I'm thinking just a player that gets a lot of chances and will score, but he's gonna be frustrating because he'll miss one or two in a game that you think he should score. But just because we think he should score doesn't mean he has to do it or he will do it. Just score the one that you need to score, and I think Werner can probably do that. So, although positioning is probably key as well. Like maybe if he starts at number 9, he gets more chances and he gets more goals. If he plays on the wing, then maybe you do have to be a little bit more clinical with the opportunities that you get.
No, but that's where I wanted to go. What do you think is the best position for him? Is it wide left? Is this as a striker who can now drift out wide? Because my thing is, now I don't know exactly what they did at Leipzig, but I have a feeling that his position was striker, but he drifted out wide under Nagelsmann. The issue here is that he is starting as a wide man. So if you're starting as a wide man, there are certain things you need to do when the ball comes to you. Starting as a wide man is very different from being a striker who drifts wide.
I'll bet you if you looked at the heat maps, it's probably not that much different in terms of where just the natural position that he takes up. Just because they tell you to play left doesn't mean that, you don't drift into the half space or into the central area. Like, you're going to do that. And I'll bet you that's part of Lampard's tactic anyways, to get bodies around a target man. And Werner would be ideal for that. And then that allows a Chilwell or a James to kind of patrol a flank. So I wouldn't be surprised if you look at it at the Leipzig heat maps and the Chelsea heat maps. There might be a little difference here or there, but it's probably not some grand difference. Maybe the bigger difference would be the Poulsen 2-striker dynamic versus the kind of front 3 dynamic that Chelsea are implementing at the moment. So,
before I round this off, Werner's ceiling for Chelsea, what do you think his ceiling is for Chelsea? Eddie. Drogba level, Hasselbank level, Torres level, Mattia Kezman.
Oh my god. It's hard because he's a different type of player to most Chelsea strikers that you've mentioned. Like his game is, he's more versatile than those guys. So he's got a lot of uses, if you want to put it that way. Because the other guys, if they couldn't play striker, they were basically sitting on the bench, or it was a 2-striker thing. With Werner, if he's not playing striker, he can play on the left. He can do other things. He can help create as well. Well, I mean, he can average 30 plus goals for Chelsea.
What?
That's on average. He can average 30 plus goals.
Wow.
A season.
30 plus.
Yeah, I was gonna say Diego Costa, but I think he'll exceed that because he is a player that he'll come good. He'll come good.
Abdullahi, what do you think his ceiling is?
I would say 25 plus though. I wouldn't say 38 because if you look at the way Diego Costa plays, similar to the way Timo Werner plays, but they're slightly different because Timo Werner has a very good movement and Diego Costa. But the problem between both of them is Costa has a fear factor than Timo Werner. If people say Costa, they don't want to. The Werner doesn't want to play with Costa because that might. It's just like Balotelli. He can get you aggressive, can get you mad or crazy at the pitch, which Timo Werner doesn't do. So those are both of them are different. But I would say 25 plus though, because it's a very clean. When he's on form, Timo Werner can get you 20 plus or 25 goals in the season. So at this moment, just having a rough part, which is understandable. It will get used to it and it will come good. It's just about time. It will come good about it. Because if you remember Germany, around the December time, they have some holidays. Now it's coming to December, no holidays. It's gonna be playing matches week in and week out. Now no Champions League anymore. So we'll be playing matches consecutively. This is now how you're gonna get used to the EPL. So for me, it will come good. Now because it's the penalty taker now, our penalty taker now. So it will have more chances to score more goals. Now you have more chances to score more
Okay,
goals. I'm not worried
so
about
you're
it.
saying 20, 25 plus.
Yeah.
Okay. Daniel.
Are the comments saying good Johnson just because they're white?
Yes. Yes. Daniel, yes. Okay. Come on.
Anyway.
Such a smart ass, man.
I'm just Timo Werner equals good Johnson. You're just thinking of white strikers in the past and then automatically put him in there. Like,
Well, they could have said Mattia Kezman or Andre Mutu.
let's not be Mutu.
Sniffing on that cocaine.
Oh my god.
Okay. I think Werner, considering he'll probably be taking penalties over maybe Jorginho or whoever it is.
Yeah.
I think he can
No,
get
it's our
30.
penalty taker and Lampard already
Yeah,
confirmed it.
I think he
It's the
can get
penalty.
30 in a season. Like consistently.
Consistently.
Not in the Premier League, but all
Yeah, not just
competitions.
Premier League, all
All
competitions.
competitions.
So maybe that's like 20, 21 in the Premier League. I don't know. Champions League is 6 games, 8 games probably. You could probably get 5. That's 25. Add the cup competitions.
Yeah.
You
5,
know,
6, 7. Yeah, okay.
if you go on a FA Cup or League Cup run, that's 12 more
Okay,
games
okay.
or
You see,
8
that's
games.
because I thought Eddie was saying 30 in the Premier League alone.
No,
I was like,
I'm saying all
Not
competitions.
the Premier League, all competitions.
that makes sense.
So
That
like
makes sense.
around, he's never gonna win the Golden Boot by 10 goals or 15 goals or something like that, but he'll be in the conversation in the Premier League. But in all comps, like 30, like in between 28 and 32, somewhere in there, which is good. I mean,
Oh, no.
but
That is
it's
very
just
good.
how many chances will you miss to get those? Is maybe
I mean, if Chelsea get
frustrating
that
question.
for 3 to 4 seasons, that's really good. That's money well spent.
All right, man, guys. Let's now talk CL. Let's talk CL. Now look, as I said again, Premier League is
That
all
look,
cool and everything.
clip me. I want Bayern.
Abdullahi, mute your
Oh
mic.
my god.
I want
mute
Oh
your
my
mic.
god.
Mute your mic.
I won't buy it.
Mute
You
your
can't
mic.
even get Bayern. That's how bad that is.
I won't buy it.
Mute your mic. Mute your
I
mic,
won't buy
man.
it.
It's foolish, man. Mute your mic.
Why did you say that? Why did you say that?
Daniel, I think there's something wrong with your sound. I can't really hear you too well.
Why did you say that?
You're cracking up. You're cracking up.
I'm
Daniel,
not
you're
cracking up. I'm not.
You're cracking.
No, I'm
maybe
not.
like try like in 10 minutes time, and then I can maybe. I
I'm
can hear
good.
you
I
10
know I'm
minutes
good. Why did you say that last year?
What? So, actually, before we go, okay, look. General thoughts.
Why were you kicking Gatlock out the stream?
Because he was bringing up false receipts, and he's super annoying, man. Okay, because
You don't have to be Donald Trump, man. It's fake news.
yes,
It's fake news.
half Trump. That's my new name, half
Fake
Trump.
news.
So look, before we look at the possible teams that Chelsea could get and so forth, what is your general feeling? Let me start. Every single season, my priority goes Champions League, then anything else is bonus. The Papa John's Cup, I don't even count that as a trophy. For me, that's complete and utter gutter trash.
Shout out to United.
Charles, you see, FA Cup. See, FA Cup is like a nice dessert, like a nice side dish, you know. But the Premier League is like, aha, all right, that's a nice one. But I'm all about the Champions League. I'm all about the freaking Champions League. And I've learned my lesson from last season. I'm not here to say Chelsea semis minimum. I'm not to say that they're favorites
sure?
and so forth.
You sure?
I'm like,
sure?
can you mute your mic? Can you mute your mic? Thank you. I'm not here to put them as favorites or anything, but let me just say that I am cautiously optimistic because you've spent 200 mil and I want a trophy, Lampard. This isn't last season. We're like, okay, transfer ban and everything. No. You have the players, you have the people. I'm not here to wait. I don't wait for anything. I want things now. I don't wait for tomorrow. I want things now. So the first part of it was completed, top the group, which means you only get guys who are second, which is good because again, PSG they topped, Bayern they topped. A lot of the guys that you want to avoid in the second round, you pretty much topped. So my feeling is Chelsea should definitely make at least the quarters, and then we can then have a discussion because this is a far stronger team than was last year. Far stronger. I think that team last year, it was never going to happen. It was never going to happen. Daniel, general thoughts of Chelsea's Champions League chances, man. Do you think that?
I mean, I've always said quarters max, so I think there's a likelihood that they get past this stage. I mean, obviously, if you draw Atletico Madrid or I think it's only Atletico really that you
we'll get there. We'll get there.
That's kind of the only team. Maybe Barcelona because you have to project these games are going to be happening in February. They're not going to be happening next week. So what do Barcelona look like in 2 months? They're probably better than they are right now. Who knows?
Exactly.
They might buy some players who aren't cup tied. Koeman might be gone. Who knows what's going on with Messi, all that kind of stuff. So people saying I want Barca. Yeah, I don't know if you'll want Barca.
I don't get it, man.
Two months from now. But outside of the Spanish teams, I mean, I think I'd be confident with Chelsea.
Daniel, general thoughts. Can Chelsea win the Champions League?
No.
Why not? How much money has it to spend? Why? Okay, so you spend 200 mil and there's no chance of winning the Champions League. That shouldn't even be on the cards.
Because eventually you're going to meet Bayern, and you're not going to beat Bayern. Eventually you're going to beat Real Madrid, and Real Madrid just have the sauce in Champions League. These guys were about to be out or in Europa League. Somehow they top the group. It's just what they do in Champions League. Eventually you're going to meet a Juventus. Do you think Chelsea can beat Juventus over 2 legs? No.
We'll discuss more.
The best teams in Europe are just better than Chelsea.
Eddie, general thoughts. Thanks for your pessimism, Daniel.
General thoughts. I mean, I think apart from
they could fluke it, but I don't know why you project it.
The Krasnodar game was a match no one cared about because we already qualified, and no matter the result, we would have topped the group anyways. Rennes was a routine victory overall. The other Krasnodar game was a routine victory as well. The Sevilla games, there's not too much to take from it. The first one, we all know how that ended. The poor 0-0 draw, and last week was basically the game of the backups who surprised everyone, and that was the Giroud coming out party for this season. So. There's not too much to take from the group, but like HH said, we spent 200 mil. This squad is stronger than last season. There is no excuse for Chelsea not to go past the round of 16s. And semis should be possible. I look at the other teams in Europe, like apart from your Bayern, your Liverpool, and who else?
PSG,
Chelsea. It depends what PSG to turn up.
Yeah, it depends what PSG turn up. I mean, I'm talking of.
It depends on what Chelsea turn up.
I'm talking of teams who are 30 at the moment. Apart from your Bayern and your Liverpool, there's no other team that Chelsea will play right now.
As if Chelsea can win the Champions League.
No. I'm not saying Chelsea will win the Champions League, but there's no team Chelsea will play right now that I'll say we don't have a chance against. If we play PSG, we have a chance against them. We can take them on. But if you put us against Bayern tomorrow,
I know.
We might as well play. The forfeit rule exists for a reason. We might as well just mail that in. But every other
I've
team in
learned
the
my lesson.
Champions League, I think we should be able to give a game. Now, the other thing that will come in when we're versing other teams now will be who is managing the team, and I shall not get into that today. So
wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. Let me just name some teams over 2 legs. That do you guys think Chelsea can beat them? Do you guys think Chelsea can beat Barcelona over 2 legs? Yes or no?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Did you say whether
Yeah.
I think they can?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, yes, they can.
Oh,
yes.
I think yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. They can.
Atletico Madrid.
No.
Yeah.
No with Lampard.
Yeah.
Bro.
No.
Yeah.
City.
Yeah.
Man,
I said yes.
City, yes. City,
Yes. Yeah.
Over 2 legs. Yes.
Yes.
City, yes.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
No.
Mhm.
Bayern.
No.
50-50.
No.
Yeah. Yes.
Wait.
Yes.
Wait. I'll be like, wait a minute. Have you said yes to every single team?
I said no to Liverpool, and I said yes to Bayern.
I'm like, I've heard about 5 or 6, 7 yeses from you.
Yes. I have my reason for that.
Okay, wait.
Juve. Have a
Explain.
can
No.
beat- you can
Explain how we beat Bayern, please.
Okay.
No.
Okay, let me explain.
Wait. Let me just first, because I want Daniel to finish. So, Kuti also said Munza had a nervous breakdown yesterday. Yes, it was extremely hilarious. One of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. Hilarious. Daniel, so have you finished with your teams?
No, Bayern. You said
I said no.
I said yes.
I said no.
why? Nah, I'm like, save it. When we get there, you can explain. Let's not waste time.
Look at the So you said Juventus?
Juve.
No, I'm 60-40 because of Ronaldo.
We can take Juve on.
If Cristiano is fit for both legs, I would probably
And
say
they turn
no.
up.
Madrid.
I'm gonna say 60-40.
Real Madrid.
Yes.
Chelsea can, yes.
Chelsea can.
This Real Madrid team.
Now,
Chelsea
if
can.
I change that to would or will, I'll bet you most of those yeses turn into no's.
Oh yes, of course.
Because using can, anybody can imagine anything, and that's why I started with can. But if we go with would or will, I'll bet you it's like no, probably not. Then if you have 4 of those, just from those teams alone, that's not even assuming like a fluke Porto or something like that, or Atalanta. If Chelsea draw Atalanta, 4 no's, and that means they don't make the semis. And I think there are 4 no's in Europe that no matter who they get, they're not making a semi. So this idea that Chelsea can make the semi and they're gonna win, like anything can happen. Chelsea 2012, we've proved it. They can go on a miraculous run. But bro, there's no Lampard in this team. There's no Drogba in this team. There's no Czech. There's no Terry. Like no Ashley Cole. So can we just chill? It's a development process.
The thing is, it's not how it works the way you're explaining it, Daniel. Like, of course, we can name 4 teams who are better than Chelsea, but what if who's not to say Liverpool?
We don't deal. I don't deal in ifs. I don't deal in ifs. Let's deal with the probabilities on the table. Chelsea are not ready to beat Bayern. They're not ready to beat Liverpool. They're not ready to beat Atletico Madrid. They're not ready to beat Juventus.
What I'm saying is Chelsea can still make the semi. Say, for example, Liverpool draw Bayern in the quarterfinals. That's one of the teams knocked out. You're not going to have.
If I DM'd Rihanna, she might just respond. It's like, what are we talking about?
No, with that hairline, bro.
No. Hey, you never know, man. Rihanna does. She seems like a very open person, man. Because I want to definitely go to Abdullahi's crazy things, but Daniel, no. My thing though is my logic is Chelsea finished top. So the whole Bayern situation ends happening. They're facing a team.
I heard semis. I heard there's a chance to get into the semis.
Let me get there. So you expect them to beat the team in the second round, which would be a second place team. Quarterfinals, it's a dicey thing. They could have a situation that Atalanta had, where
Leipzig.
No, where Leipzig. Wait. Yeah. You could get a team that is maybe beatable, because once you're in the quarters, who knows? It's not a dead set that you will definitely get to Liverpool or definitely get to Bayern or Atletico, teams that Chelsea have no chance of beating in the quarters.
The comment.
All right. So
I'd wear a hat.
Basically, I'm not saying that semis is a dead set. All I'm saying is that, you know. Okay, now look. Before I get to
No, I
Abdullahi's
don't
thing,
know.
yes, you do know. Okay, now look. These
No,
are
go to Abdullahi first, man. Go,
actually. You know what? Okay. Let's
Abdullahi,
go to
explain
Abdullahi
yourself.
first.
Daniel mentioned teams. He said Juventus,
No.
Atletico,
Wait, no. Stop.
Barcelona.
No. Bayern. Deal with
Abdullahi,
Bayern first. How do
according to
Chelsea
you,
beat
we're winning.
Bayern?
Yes,
How do Chelsea
thank you.
beat Bayern? Tell me.
Okay. I
This
know
man
Bayern
spit.
is the most informed team in the world at the moment, and if you look at those teams who played Bayern Munich in the Champions League, the PSG and the Leipzig and Sevilla, those three teams, if they were clinical enough, Bayern Munich is out of the competition because those teams are not clinical. That is the reason Bayern beat. If you look at the way Bayern played, I keep saying it, the highline is very criminal.
Oh
Yes,
no, I'm gonna
because
say Barcelona,
if you look
man.
at if you look at the way PSG played them in the final, Kylian Mbappe and Neymar missed some sitters a lot. If those sitters goes in, Bayern Munich is out of the competition. Same with Sevilla in the Super Cup. There are some chances, like 3 or 4 chances in which Sevilla missed. If those chances goes in, Bayern's not winning that Super Cup. Because those chances against Bayern, if you want to play against Bayern, you have to be very, very clinical. That's how you beat Bayern. You don't need to defend, just go attack them.
So
That is why
basically, you're saying that Chelsea will be clinical, and that's why they'll beat Bayern.
I say Chelsea. The reason I say Chelsea we have an advantage and we will be more superior against Bayern is because when you look at the highline, we have players who are very good on highline, who are very pacey. Like if you look at what's called Alfonso Davies and them, they are right back. When they go higher, they have a very good recovery pace, but the comeback is
Abdullahi,
very
I know
difficult.
what you just said. Mike, the question I asked of you is: so you believe that Chelsea will be clinical? All these guys, Leon, PSG, they all had their chances and they didn't put them away. So you said Chelsea will be more clinical
You
than
see,
PSG and all these
this
dudes.
is a complicated
I
Chelsea
believe so.
fan, but a different version of a complicated Chelsea fan. It's like the other side of being complicated, where you're complicated, but like in the positive aspect.
I'm a complicated fan, but I believe my own belief is if Bayern get a very superior team, they can be knocked out of the competition. And for me, Chelsea have
Who
that
is
chance
scared
of
to buy?
beating them.
So okay, so you said that Chelsea are a superior team. Then you said if Bayern,
No, Bayern are a superior team than Chelsea.
okay,
But I said Chelsea have a very good hedge or advantage of beating Bayern. If they are very clinical and they take their chances, we will beat Bayern. We will surely beat them. That's I'm confident
if
about.
Spots and Woods, if Leon took their chances, if
beat
PSG took their chances, so why do you
beat
think that
Bayern.
Chelsea will
This way,
take their chances?
Can we put it this way? Is there any team in the competition that Bayern would fear facing?
Yeah, Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Yeah,
That's
Liverpool.
it.
One. Chelsea are worried about Atletico Madrid in the round of 16. Please don't give us Atletico. Please don't give. I want them to get Atletico.
I want Atletico. The reason I want Atletico because
Let's
Diego
just get
Simeone is
rid of
gonna
the hard
defend.
team early. Let's just see. Apparently, Frank Lampard's Jesus Christ. So let's see him do a miracle, bro.
So okay, so I would like to say
I'm
you want
ready.
Atletico. Why do you want Atletico?
Because we know Diego Simeone is gonna go defensive, just like Jose Mourinho. So
Which
that's
is gonna
easier
knock
to
Chelsea out.
which is gonna see this is it.
He's gonna
When
knock Chelsea out on away goals. Bruv.
listen. This Chelsea team here is different than the last year Chelsea team. Look at this team now. Diego Simeone is not gonna come out, he's gonna defend, which plays into Chelsea's hand because we have a very good team and attack who can easily break up that defensive. If you look at yesterday when they played Salzburg had a lot of chances. If they have knocked out Atletico yesterday, they were like their chances were just wayward. That was the reason Atletico were lucky to get out of that to go to that competition yesterday. If you look at the way they play Bayern also too and the other group, they have chances to beat Atletico.
Mates. You know that who is the manager of Atletico Madrid?
Diego Simeone.
Who is the manager of Chelsea?
Frank Lampard, I know. There's a
Who
difference.
who would you put your money on over 2 legs to have the better tactical plan?
I would say Diego Simeone, but
You would say.
yeah.
You would
I
say,
would say
but
Diego
not for sure,
Simeone.
but you would say.
I would say Diego
this
Simeone.
this is my point, that people are worried about Atletico in the round of 16. But then what happens in the quarters, the semis, the final, right? I don't think Bayern are worried really about any team except perhaps Liverpool, but even still, they'd still be favorites. Yeah. So those are the levels that we're dealing with.
Okay, let's just look at the teams, man. Let's just look at the teams.
But hey, man, Abdullahi, bro, keep the faith, man.
Just keep the faith. Good song by MJ, actually. So the teams that Chelsea can face: Atletico, Mönchengladbach, Porto, Atalanta,
Skip.
Lazio, Barcelona, Leipzig. For me, Chelsea should hope to get FC Porto or Mönchengladbach.
Are you sure they want Porto?
Daniel, if you were to pick one team that Chelsea would be happy to get, Mönchengladbach over Porto.
What's the list again?
Chelsea don't want RB Leipzig, bro.
I don't think I don't think Chelsea go to Porto and win. Put it that way.
Okay, so basically Atletico, nope, don't want that. Mönchengladbach, tricky but doable, but tricky. Porto, I think that's the one you want to go for. Atalanta, nope.
Look at their points.
Yeah, look who they play though. Marcel pretty much didn't score a goal till
Yeah,
when?
I mean, look, Martial and Olympiacos are trash.
Olympiacos, really?
So Atalanta, I don't know about that, man. Lazio, tricky. Barcelona, beatable, but it depends which Messi shows up, and they've basically Messi. They've got Messi. Leipzig, nope. Nagelsmann will outthink Lampard, man.
Of the choices, I think I prefer Atalanta to start with. Because at least I know that Chelsea will be able to play football. And in that ability to play football, perhaps you can outscore Atalanta. I don't know if I necessarily want Chelsea against a team that's going to be overtly defensive. Like I suspect the Porto might be, or an Atletico might be, because then that relies on Chelsea to create chances, and it leaves you susceptible to counterattacks, which I don't think Chelsea are that great at defending or implementing as yet. So give me the team that's the most open. So for that, I suspect Atalanta.
You'd take Atalanta over Porto?
Mm-hmm.
Nah. For me, Porto is the most desirable draw out of those, man. For me, because things like with Porto,
All right.
you see, Porto are not exactly defensive. They're just like balanced, and they pose no threats going forward. Atalanta, okay, defensively, they have a threat going forward. Muriel, the guy who was the victim of an adulterous wife,
Ilicic,
what's it called, Papo Gomez. So
they're a good team, but
no. See, Chelsea can beat them because Atalanta is a great matchup for Chelsea. Great matchup for Chelsea.
Don't you want to watch a good game?
Yeah, why not?
So give me Atalanta, man. That's gonna be fun.
Eddie, where are you at, man?
Go to Abdullahi first, please. Let's see who he wants.
I would like who do you want Chelsea to play in the next round?
Barcelona or RSB Leipzig?
Abdullahi, let me rephrase that question again. Abdullahi, which team do you feel that Chelsea will be able to beat? So which is the most? And I hope you've not eaten anything, man. Which is the team that you would want Chelsea to face that you believe is an easy dub, a win?
An easy
FC Lionel Messi, FC Barcelona.
Okay.
I want the revenge back of 2009. So I want Messi to come and
stand for it. You got that in 2012, Abdullahi.
No. I want another one. So it's time for Messi to retire.
I want another revenge.
Yeah, it's time to retire.
You only have revenge once. You can't have two.
No. I want it twice. What they did to me in 2009 hurt me.
Technically, the revenge would be the Conte season, wouldn't it? Like where Willian had he kept hitting the posts and they were actually better than Barcelona. But Courtois couldn't close his legs. Maybe that would be the revenge.
Why would you want Red Bull Leipzig?
Yeah, because the kind of way RSB Leipzig play, they play into Chelsea's hands. They don't know how to defend, and which is they're an open team.
But
when you're open team,
do you know who their coach is?
I know Nagelsmann is a very good coach.
And you trust Lampard against Nagelsmann?
So I'm not trusting Lampard, but I trust the player we have. That is what I would say. I trust the player we have because Leipzig plays an open game. So it plays into Chelsea's hand a lot because when you have Ziyech, Timo, Pulisic, and Giroud. Those 3 players behind Giroud are very fast players and runners. They can easily hotline Mikel a lot. Nagelsmann is a very damn good coach. I will even take him ahead of Lampard. But when you look at the caliber of Chelsea player and the Leipzig player, there's a difference in both teams. That's why I would prefer Leipzig of Barcelona. If you look at Barcelona too, Barcelona doesn't have a good defense. That defense I'm looking, Areola or what's called or Longley, with the kind of defense we have at this moment. If we take a chance against Barcelona, we'll beat them. We'll surely beat them. That's what I want Barcelona. People may say it's why because of Lionel Messi.
So,
I understand Messi.
Okay, so I would like it. So you would rather Chelsea play Barcelona than Mönchengladbach or FC Porto?
This is it. Everybody says Chelsea is a big team. If you are a big team, you gotta beat the best team in the world to become a big team. Yeah. So if Barcelona is this bad, if they're this bad, play Chelsea. Let's see. People are kind of rating of how good Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, Hakim Ziyech is. Play Barcelona. Let's see how good this team is entirely. We are raging about them. We spend almost 250 something. Yes. Let's see how good this Chelsea team is. Let's play Barcelona. I will play the hardest team than playing the smallest because those smaller teams can just knock out those big teams at any time of the period. I wouldn't want to play them.
Eddie, please talk.
I mean, if you want to go easiest matchup, FC Porto is the way to go. But I mentioned last week that I needed a certain club to do me a favor, and they came through yesterday. RB Leipzig beating Manchester United. That was what I wanted, and I want them in the round of 16. Then by no means the easiest matchup, but I think that's a matchup that's good for Lampard for us to assess his progress. Yeah, we can get FC Porto, and we can probably beat them over 2 legs or whatever. But you don't learn nothing. You have all these all the proper Chelsea fans telling you we made the quarterfinals when there's nothing really concrete to it. So I want that little bit of a challenge to him. Someone similar on his level, I think. Well, Nagelsmann maybe is a bit above Lampard, but just someone who's smart. Huh?
A bit above Lampard. Okay.
Well, I mean, hey.
It's your opinion, bro.
Nagelsmann is a damn good coach.
Nagelsmann's a good coach.
I would throw Lampard off a cliff if I could get Nagelsmann at Chelsea.
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. Nagelsmann lost 5-0 to Ole. You sure you want to do that?
Have hope. Where's the cliff of bricks? Where's that cliff? I'll happily take Frank there if Nagelsmann gets to come.
Daniel, you're talking about a Chelsea legend. No. Can you just pause? Daniel just said that he would throw a Chelsea legend,
I care about them too.
Frank Lampard, off a cliff to get Nagelsmann. You sadistic.
Not as a central midfielder in your prime, but as a football manager.
I don't know, man.
What are we doing here?
No. You see, Eddie, my thing is that I get what you're saying. Like Red Bull Leipzig, I think for me, one of their biggest Achilles heels is that, they don't know how to close out games, and you always have a chance against them, And I think that's for Chelsea, who have so many attacking weapons, they can get at them. I just look at 2 legs. Over 2 legs, Chelsea should win and they'd be favorites, but it's tricky because my thing is that Chelsea's advantage is the attacking weapons they have. Leipzig's advantage is Nagelsmann and what he does tactically.
Yeah.
So the question of that is that will the weaponry and the arsenal of Chelsea come through and be clinical? If they will be, boom, we're good. If, let's say, they don't take their chances and so forth, and it now becomes a tactical game, man,
That's
what you want to see. Look,
do you know that Champions League is all about mentality? It's about which team has the most mentality in the Champions League going through matches. Yeah. And sometimes people call it luck, but mentality is the key. The reason Man City has not won the Champions League for the past couple of seasons, they have a very bad mentality. Guardiola is a top 3, top 5 coach, but the kind of core of player he has a very bad mentality. When you have that kind of bad mentality, you cannot win the Champions League. You cannot. No matter how lucky you got, you can't win the Champions League with that. So mentality is the key in Champions League. That's why I said.
So do Chelsea have mentality? So do Chelsea have the mentality then?
This Chelsea team has a very good mentality if you look at them very well. So that's why I said. As for me, I will play.
Wait. No.
Barcelona.
What is the proof that you feel that Chelsea have this mentality that you talk about? Where is the proof? Leeds?
No,
Leeds?
I'm not.
Burnley?
Look at it this way. No, look at it this way.
Sheffield United.
No,
Leeds,
I'm
man.
lucky. Where do you get this proof from? Give me the evidence that Chelsea have this mentality that you speak of. Where's the proof?
Look at it this way now. Look at last season. The kind of player we have last season, mostly they are youth players who come kind of together, play as a core of a team.
Okay.
To kind of finish fourth. I get that. This season we bought too many players like Timo, Hakim Ziyech, Kai Havertz, Thiago Silva, and everything. Look at them. Look at the goalkeeper era and the goalkeeper fix and between Kepa and
where is the
I'm coming there.
Jesus.
Look at this team. There's a mentality in this team if you look at the way they play. Look at last season. If you go 1-0 down last season, the matches we won this year, last season we automatically lost it because
they're better defenders, man.
No, it was the same defender. Just take out Thiago Silva.
Wasn't there last season.
Take out Thiago Silva out of the way and put maybe Antonio.
I won't. He's there. No. So it's Mendy.
Take out Silva and Mendy. We're still gonna concede goals because Arrizabalaga is just poor. But look at putting Mendy and putting Thiago Silva. The defense look different.
But you said it's mentality.
Yes. It's mentality because look at against Sheffield United we concede first. If it was last season, it's game over. Against Leeds, we concede fourth. If it was last season, it's completely over. So those are the mentality when you're in the team that will give you assurance that yes, this team can go far. Not win the competition, but they can easily go far. That is the mentality I'm talking about.
Abdullahi, I don't want to hear Sheffield United, Burnley, or any of these countryside teams, or Emmerdale or East Enders FC as examples of Chelsea's strong mentality. This is Premier League riffraff roadmen. Okay, Chelsea are yet to prove they have the mentality to win the Champions League because Sheffield United and Burnley are trash compared to Atletico, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and this is a top tier competition. So sorry, nothing that this team has shows that they have the mentality. Hence why I get where Eddie's coming from. See, I'm just trying to plan a path to the semi. I want to pass the semi, but I get what Eddie is like. You know
possible, bro.
H is talking now. Semi's minimum.
H just wants the easiest team possible. So give me Porto and whoever the easiest team is in the next round.
Build up to it.
That's fair.
No. See, my thing is that I don't want a situation where Chelsea get knocked out in the next round. That would be stupid because that would look bad. If you've spent all this money and you get knocked out in the next round, I'm like Lampard. I mean, what kind of trash is that? So my thing is Lampard, baby steps. Easiest team in the second round, boom. Because quarters, it's on. So get a win under your belt in the knockout round. Quarters, all right. It is what it is. Because quarters.
Let me put it this way for you. JJ. If you get those little team you're talking about, Porto, Atlanta, or whatever you call it, or I will be like. I will be like
there's an A after the T. There's an A after the T.
Maybe because I love Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know. I just love Atlanta. Somehow. So whatever you call it. So if those teams you want now, and those teams knocked out maybe Chelsea or other big team, so are you gonna say because of those money they spend now, just are a bad team? No, you wouldn't say that. You say because those teams they play, they surely with this kind of player they have, they could build a team because they are middle team.
If they knock out Chelsea, what does that say about Lampard?
That's why I'm going to HH now.
This is what I'm saying, Half Hope. You don't want the easiest team because if you get the easiest team and they knock out Chelsea, then that's even more embarrassing.
More embarrassing. That's what I'm going.
So what you want is a team in the middle, an Atalanta, a Leipzig, a Lazio, perhaps even Barca if we think they're on the decline. And in that, even if Lampard messes up, you can still say, Atalanta are a good team. They could win Serie A.
Okay, no. What if I don't want Chelsea to get knocked out yet again for the second year running in the round of 16? Get to the quarters, then we can deal with the quarters. Because I'm not going to have a scenario where no. You've spent 200 million.
Also, like, what are the actual chances that Chelsea can get Porto, given that the only team that can't get Porto is Manchester City? So there's no other Portuguese team in the thing. So it's like a 1 in 7 chance that Chelsea
Yeah,
get
it's a
it.
1 in 7 chance Chelsea get them. Yeah.
Like it's more likely that there are other scenarios where a team can only get Chelsea or something like that.
Okay, let me just read a few of these comments. So from Yasser Saeed, who says, "Damn Chelsea, damn you, Roman, damn, damn, damn. I hope Chelsea crash out of the round of 16, but they won't. I'm so angry in tears. Simeone, I pray." Yasser Saeed, deal with deal with the Europa League, man. It is what it is. So it again, chat, calma. At least Man United and Ole will win a European trophy. No, they won't, because you still have Solskjaer. Chelsea are in the Champions knockouts just to get embarrassed like Arsenal.
Do you know what? Okay, I listened to the whole Europa League anthem. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's just
it's that last
part. It's the last part.
No. It's actually, I was like, I'm actually getting into like it's built up really well. It's a nice beat. Then that last part is just trash.
So it's not trash. No, it works. It's just embarrassing as compared to the classical Champions League music. But anyway.
So really, are you going to say Nagelsmann lost 5-0 to Ole? Well, Lampard lost 4-0 to Ole as well. Ole, pimps managers, who needs a seal? We focus on the league. Yes aside, don't have sour grapes. You got schooled by Nagelsmann, and you said that Manchester United were one of the favourites for the Champions League. That's what you said. They're one of the favourites. So please take your L and leave these Chelsea boys alone. Okay, guys, here's my thing. I understand where you guys are coming from.
They said the anthem slaps.
Let me... Oh, okay. Was it? No, that anthem is...
No, but see, that's the difference. Like, Patrick says that last part slaps. What do you mean? And then the lad said that anthem is ass. So...
No. The last part is horrible. It's horrible. Okay, so if Chelsea gets Leipzig and they lose to Leipzig, what would your reactions be?
What I expected.
By how? Again, it depends on the performance. By how much? Because
no. Okay. They just lose. Like, it's just okay. It was like one goal in it. They just lose. It's not like if they get embarrassed, they just lose the game. It's a close game. They lose.
You see, this is you're asking me like Chelsea results dictate my life. If they win, great. If they don't win, I will sleep just fine.
No. This isn't about so this is the complicated show. This has nothing to do with emotional. Okay. Well, we're not. It's purely on a footballing perspective. So in terms of Lampard, you spent 200 mil. You've bought all these players. You know the players that they have at their disposal. If they were to lose to a Red Bull Leipzig, knowing that the players they have, how would you take that? Is it a case of, well, Red Bull, they got to the semi-finals last season?
I would expect Nagelsmann to take out Lampard if the draw happened that way. And if that was the case, then Lampard, you have one game a week with cup competitions. Let's see what you do in the Premier League. That would kind of be the result from that. But I wouldn't feel a way about it. Because you would expect Nagelsmann to tactically outdo Lampard at a point. Now, maybe you could say, just depending on how the games went, maybe you could say, oh, Werner could have played better. Ziyech could have played better. Where was Giroud? How come you didn't play a striker? How come you didn't do this, X, Y, Z? But at the end of the day, if you're worse tactically and they beat you in a kind of tactical fashion, then I kind of expect that. But then the consequence of that is, now that you only have one game a week for the next, 15, 20 games, however many games it would be, let's see what you can do in the Premier League. And that would kind of be the consequence.
Now, this is just a crazy theory of mine. Maybe it has something to do with Brexit. Do you think Lampard is prioritizes the Premier League over the Champions League, and he's not really that bothered about the Champions League?
I'm sure if you asked him which one would you rather win, he'd say the Premier League. Even though as a player, I bet you he would have said the Champions League.
Yeah. I think you
because the personal satisfaction probably of winning England over the course of 38 games and it's a coronavirus season and just the weekly slog that it is. I'm sure he'd prefer Premier League. But I don't think Chelsea have to prioritize one way or the other. I think the squad depth is enough to where
to
you can
take
make it through.
But I mean, if it came down to it, later in the year, it will be interesting to see what Lampard does. If he still has a chance at the Champions League, say quarterfinals, and Chelsea are still in the title race, it'll be interesting to see what he does in that case, because that'll be another test for him.
In the unlikely scenario that Chelsea make a Champions League semi-final or something, I would love to see so you have like a game against Man City that you need to win on the Saturday, but Wednesday or Tuesday there's a big semi-final match. What do you do? Like what, or maybe what is the team you play Sunday? What's the team you play Tuesday? What's the team you play Saturday? What do you do? Or you wouldn't play Sunday, Tuesday probably, but Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday. What do you do?
It's Saturday, Tuesday, Sunday, Wednesday, yeah.
Whatever it would be. So.
Okay, I mean, just sort of round this off. The teams that Chelsea want to 100% avoid. Atletico is an L. That's Chelsea not getting past Atletico. Lazio, I don't like that matchup.
Same.
It doesn't match up. See, the thing with Barcelona is, as someone said, if Chelsea faced Barcelona like tomorrow, I would say that Chelsea would probably beat Barcelona tomorrow. February is a long time. I don't think Koeman is going to be manager in February. I think they're going to have a new manager, and I don't know who they're going to get in January. So I think that it may be safe not to really draw a Barcelona right now, because you just don't know what you're going to be getting. Because this goes back to my Bayern prediction. When the draw was made, Bayern Munich were very beatable.
Wait a minute. Who can Barcelona get?
Barcelona can play PSG.
So Barca can play Man City.
Barcelona draws mad. It's
Liverpool.
Yeah, they can play PSG.
Dortmund.
They can play
PSG.
Can get Dortmund. They can get Liverpool.
Is bad.
They
Bayern.
can get Liverpool. Bayern. They can get Bayern too.
That's what I was going to ask. When was the last time Barcelona got knocked out of the round of 16?
Yeah.
Because UEFA might find one way or another to make sure these guys make it into the quarters by some dodgy means possible. I'm not putting that out of the
but my thing is that apart from the only teams that Barca can beat is maybe Chelsea and Dortmund. Apart from that, I think they want to avoid everyone else.
Right. So Chelsea look like food in a sense to Barca.
Yeah.
Because of if you go through the first place clubs, Chelsea might be the worst.
So Bayern are better than Chelsea, Real better, City, Liverpool, yep. Dortmund, Juve, okay, PSG, okay. I think Chelsea may be better than Dortmund.
Do you think if Chelsea played Dortmund over 2 legs, they'd win? You know
if they don't,
I think
what?
they would.
Yes, they would. Because of the manager, because of the manager, and how Dortmund is a very good matchup for Chelsea.
I'd say Chelsea are the second worst team to win the groups then, because I don't think they're better than Manchester City. I think City are better still. So, but Dortmund, I think Chelsea are better than Dortmund.
Wait, if we had another manager, say a better manager, though, would you say the same thing?
No.
That's fair.
So you're saying that so it's not the players, it's the manager that sort of.
If Chelsea had like a better manager, then I'd put them above City maybe, given the squad that they have available. But other than that, the others are clear. Especially depending on what Madrid look like come February.
The Champions League. Yeah.
All right, guys.
That's why I want to put this out there, Chich. You said you always talk about DOD, degree of difficulties.
Yes.
That is where we're going to judge Lampard. I'm still at this moment. People say I'm not ready yet.
Yeah, what is the Dodd factor?
Degree of difficulty. Porto is not a degree of difficulty, because if Man City play Porto,
that's why I think Eddie's right, and I think I'm kind of right with the Atalanta Leipzig. It's like that's not easy.
No, but basically, I want to try to help Lampard here. So see, for me, I don't care about the order of Lampard could be that is my thing is that how do Chelsea win a Champions League for my agenda and my narrative. So I think that because I'm trying to help Lampard,
HK's trying to pop some
I want
bottles.
Lampard to ease into this whole thing. So baby steps, easy.
This man wants to bring out that Jack bottles, that Jack Daniels
I told
bottle.
you.
You're gonna pop
Those
some
bottles
bottles
down.
There's still a little left, man. There's still a little left. I've been drinking this for since March. I bought this back in March, man. So no. My thing about it is that I want a route for Chelsea to win this because I don't trust Lampard. So Lampard needs all the help he can get. So if Chelsea gets a Bayern or Real Madrid and they lose, I'll be pissed off.
Okay, let me put it this way
with
for
my
you,
narrative. So this isn't about Lampard or Chelsea. It's about me. It's about my tweets. It's about my tweets that I have with my drafts.
It's about me.
Yeah, it's about me. It's all about me. So I just need Chelsea to lift that Champions League so I can get off my tweets. So what is the best way that Chelsea can win that trophy? It is easy team to begin with. Quarterfinal, boom, because you gradually build up more momentum on your way through a thing. Because you don't want to see what you don't want is like a big team. Chelsea beat them. Oh, Chelsea are not the favorites. No, you want to just quietly build up momentum through a tournament. That's how you want to do tournaments. Build up momentum. I would like what you want to say.
I want to say something. Okay, if Chelsea face Barcelona, maybe they play Chelsea with Barcelona in February. Comes February, and we beat them home and away. So what will you say? Because we feel like okay, we beat Barcelona now. So is this right?
It depends on the kind of Barcelona that Chelsea face. It depends. Because this is a team that lost to Cadiz. This is a team that lost 8 to Bayern. This is a team that lost 3-0 to Juventus. So this isn't Barcelona of 2009 or 2011. This is a very different Barcelona. So if it's the Barcelona of now, it doesn't mean anything. Expect Chelsea if Chelsea face Barcelona tomorrow, I expect them to beat them. So it depends what Barcelona that they face.
Yeah, it depends on Barcelona.
That is why I don't go what with Eddie and them Daniel said about small team. Those small team they may look small team in our face, but they're a very dangerous team. Like Porto, Leipzig, and they're saying because it's an easy road. That's it's been dangerous putting them as an easy road because those teams are very dangerous.
You said Leipzig as well.
I said Barcelona or Leipzig. I prefer Barcelona more than Leipzig for me.
And we said Leipzig or Atlanta. They're not small teams.
I wouldn't want to play Atlanta for me though. I would probably play Barcelona then play Atlanta in quarterfinal somehow. For me though. It depends.
Okay, look, let's run off with our final statement. So this is a bit of a look back, so guys. You know what it is.
Are we going to talk about Everton on Saturday or no?
We will, man. We will. Don't worry. That'll be like a final thing, man. All right. So you know how it goes, guys. Is pretty much what do you feel, or what do you see when you see this image? And I'll give you time to.
It's gonna be Torres, isn't it?
So, your feelings when you, because I have a bit to say about this, but when you see this image, what emotions go through your mind? What thoughts go through your mind when you see this image?
He was like a little bit too old. So basically, if he was in his prime now, he'd be a perfect player for Chelsea anyway, for Chelsea purposes. But because he played in an era that had the Ballack, Makalele, Essien, Lampard midfield, he was just kind of a secondary player. But if he played in this era, where like Jorginho is somehow a great player, give me Mikel in like that central midfield role, and I think he'd be far better. Just because naturally he was a number 10.
So do you think he was? Because people keep saying that he was underappreciated.
Oh yeah, but he was.
Yes.
If you watch the 2012 Champions League final, he's probably the best player on the pitch in a Chelsea perspective. It was either him or Ashley Cole were the best players. Drogba obviously took the headlines with the goals and the penalty at the end, but without that guy, Chelsea don't win the Champions League. Or at least they don't win that game to win the Champions League. So
Eddie?
Ah, man. I mean, there's a lot of places you could go with it, but I think Daniel's probably right in saying I would have said I would have said wasted potential. Because naturally he was a number 10. And then he ended up being more or less like a sideman for a great team playing, further back. Because I mean he wasn't the same competition in the youth World Cup with Messi, and wasn't the same competition as Messi. Yeah,
He was. Yeah, he
he was
was.
the second to Messi in that competition. So
Yeah.
shows you how good he was. Looking at how far Messi's gone. Not saying they should be close or anything, but that says a lot that they started from similar levels. And yeah, he's definitely underappreciated by Chelsea fans because I mean, you don't play over. I think you play over 200 or 300 games for Chelsea. And you don't get that from being trash, man. Wait, does someone check how many games Torres played for Chelsea before?
170, I think.
Okay, cool. He didn't hit 200. Um,
I'm pretty sure Mikel has at least 300.
yeah, I'm pretty sure he's got 300, but to be safe, 200 over 200 games for Chelsea. So you don't get that without being a good player, at least. And he was definitely underrated. He played in a lot of great teams, and I think that was the thing, But yeah, he was man of the match playing against Argentina, who had Messi.
Also, quickly, just on this picture, can someone explain the short sleeves with the gloves? Why wouldn't you just wear long sleeves and gloves, or no gloves if you're gonna wear short sleeves?
Or you know what? I think it's a feeling thing. Is for me, I liked playing with short sleeves than long sleeves. So basically, if I had a choice, I'd rather play with short sleeves than long sleeves because it just feels better. But obviously, you want to still remain cold, so you then hold on to your gloves. But so it could either be a feeling thing or even like a superstitious thing that some people just like short sleeved things. So
because I know those kids came in long sleeves. There's no way they didn't. So if it's cold and that you need gloves, wear the long sleeves. But anyway.
I would like your thoughts, man, when you see this image.
I think I'm gonna use your logic. At his best,
are you
I would
eating?
say Thierry. Yeah, I'm eating cookies.
Yeah.
Wait, you're eating what?
Cookies.
Cookies.
Cookie monster. Okay, talk.
I would say at his best, I would say Thierry at his best. Because it's for me, he's the most underrated player in Chelsea for me though. He's not a 4, but he's a 10. But I think Ose converted him to a 4. When Ose converted him to a 4, I think that it became a better player as a defensive midfielder than a number 10. But I think when you watch in African Cup of Nations, he play more as number 4 and as 10 also sometimes. When we won that in 2013 when we won the Nations Cup, he play more forward and comes back a little bit. So he's not used to that playing that 4. But I think Osei kind of changed his position, playing as a number 10 to be a number 4. For me, he's the most underrated player if there's Mikel at this era now, I wouldn't even want Jorginho at all. And that team, Jorginho is entirely out of the equation because that is the kind of player you want in that team. This is the kind of player you want because standing for you have Obi Mikel there. No matter what you want to do at the front, he doesn't care. He has a standing for there. It's just like people say they play Kante out of position. That is the definition of playing Mikel because you have a standing for your position who basically do whatever you want him to do. That's his job. So I think for me, he's the most underrated player for me, though. Very underrated player.
Do you know what the problem was? Is Mourinho. Do you know when like a player gets old? So like you might imagine this happens to like a Paul Pogba or some player like that, where as a young player they want to play more forward, more attacking, and then as their legs go, they just the manager just decides, okay, we're just gonna move you deeper. And then you're going to just sit or you're going to play a more defensive role. Mourinho did that with Mikel, but while he was still in his early 20s. Yeah. So he just retreated him deeper into midfield and made him play like just a more reserved way than probably he would have wanted. Obviously, the transfer saga with Manchester United and Fergie would have probably used him in a more attacking sense in a 4-4-2. But who knows how much he plays for Manchester United. Maybe he's just one of those talents that he shows up and he becomes like an Anderson or somebody like that, So I think if ultimately it was probably the best move for him in terms of for his career, because you can't just. There was no guarantee that he makes it at United, but what we know is that he did make it at Chelsea, but just not in a way that I think people would, not, especially Nigerians, and maybe you guys can speak to that more than me, that they would have wanted.
You see, for me, this is the thing with Mikel, and this is why I always get frustrated when guys talk about Mikel to me, is because I almost never even gave him a fair chance when I critiqued him. Because I followed him during that World Cup, under 17 thinking World Cup, and also the Olympics as well. I was like, no, this guy has serious playmaking talent. You know, and Nigeria have never really had a playmaker. So I was like, oh my gosh, this could be a very interesting player for Nigeria to have. And when I just saw him at Chelsea and how every creative aspect of him was taken away, I just sort of just got annoyed. So the reason why he was so good at his job was because he still has that footballing brain. Yep. So he knew how to make a pass, decision making, and he's got such great footballing intelligence. He
was the calmness. He was just like, he got the ball. Can you remember a time where he just made a bad pass, or he got tackled or pressed, or like, you can't really think of that with him.
Yeah.
So, maybe like a few times. Now that I'm thinking, there were a couple of times, but
because you see, about it is like, it's almost similar to Peak Busquets, who always knew how to make the right pass, but just that Mikel was more dynamic than Busquets. So if you put Busquets in the number 10 position, it can't work because it does not have the dynamism, athleticism, or movement with the ball that you would need for a guy further up the pitch. So I could never give him his fair dues. So when everyone always brings up Obi Mikel, I'm like, no, he wasn't the player he should be. If he was the greatest DM in the world, I will never accept that. I'll never praise him for that. Even if he was so good, because I'm like, no, that wasn't the player he was supposed to be. You know? So, you see, for Obi Mikel, he may be happy that, hey, Champions League, I this and that, but the fact that I don't know what he thinks in his head. Because you came in as an attacking player and you just became like a water carrier. So to go from an attacking player to a water carrier, are you still happy with your career? I don't know. I wouldn't be. But I don't know whether he's happy that, hey, you're praised as being just the water carrier, the guy just keeping things when you came into the game as an attacking number 10 playmaker.
HH, can you pull out a super chat for Harrison Kuingba? What's his name? So I want to take on that. At his peak, do you think it's a tier 2? At his peak?
At whose peak?
Harrison Eku.
Yeah.
Ekunubu. He said,
I can't see his
he said, shut up, Abdullah. Tier 2 is for Mikel. Do you hear what Ruben Diaz said about Mikel? He said they studied Mikel moves on the ball and off the balls at Benfica academic till today. So he said it's tier 2. Do you agree?
Was it a super chat? Or
No, it wasn't. No, basically I saw just I can't find the comments.
372 appearances.
By who?
For Chelsea.
Yep.
Wow.
6 goals though.
He played DM though, so yeah.
One Premier League goal in like 250.
You see, my thing about it is that
he was never a goal scorer. Though. He's never going to be that.
I just say,
yeah, this is it.
Tier 2. Do you hear what? See, okay, my thing about it is, look, this goes
at his peak. Do you think it's tier 2 at his peak? Compare him to other midfielders we have like Busquets. I'm just gonna.
This is the thing. For his role, you could argue that for his role. But as I said again, I can never objectively approve him. So this stuff is saying that, Ruben Neves and these guys, they study him. I don't give a crap.
You see, like,
I don't care.
The complication with Mikel is that his creative work wasn't done in the number 10 area.
Mm-hmm.
It was done deeper. So he was a number 10 will get the striker the goal. Mikel's job was to get Lampard the ball, or to get Maluda the ball, or to get just somebody who's going to give the next pass to Drogba, to Anelka, to whomever the striker is. So if you took Mikel and you placed him further forward, he would get the assists probably. He would do what he did for Nigeria, wearing number 10 and backheeling the ball through Pogba's legs and stuff like that, right? But with Chelsea, there were just better players to do that. But I guess if you're Mourinho or if you're Avram Grant or whoever Ancelotti, whoever the managers are, you understand that I kind of still need this player in my team just because of the capabilities that he has, which is why he has almost 400 appearances for the club. So, obviously, and I get the argument from Half Hope that it's like you could have been more in terms of attacking wise, but if you asked him, I'm sure he's happy with what his career came to be.
Oh yes, he'd probably be happy because
ultimately,
anyone should be happy with that.
He's going to be a Chelsea legend. Like the longer it goes, the more people are gonna forget. He just passed sideways. He just did this. He just did that. And they're gonna remember, like, just when you think about him, you're gonna think solid player, great player, good player. You're not gonna think about the day to day.
That's things like solid player.
I mean, would you rather have a coach's career where people love that you were just at Bolton playing free football, or would you rather have Mikel's career? You pick.
Put it this way: if I had Mikel's ability,
which a culture had more,
I would still. This is just me. I'm just talking about myself. I would still feel a way because I'm like, okay, I've won all these trophies and all this stuff, but the praise that people are giving me is not the praise that I wanted. I wanted the praise of an attacking player, not as a DM.
So you would rather be a coach than Mikel?
Yeah.
See, I'd rather be Mikel than a coach.
I'd rather be Mikel than Mikel won a CL, bro.
How much money do you think Bolton are paying versus how much money do you think Chelsea are paying?
Okay, let me ask you this. How much do people really... Daniel, this is the first time I've heard you say that Mikel was one of the best players on that pitch in 2012.
This is the first time we've talked about it. And I've said this from time. You can probably go look on my Twitter and type it in.
No, okay, true, but I have never had anyone even bring up his name during that whole 2012 thing.
Because everyone just talks about Drogba.
Because everyone talks about what happened in the last 10 minutes.
The last 10 minutes, yeah.
But, Half Hope, when was the last time you watched the game?
You see, I've not watched the... It's okay.
You need to go back and watch the game.
Okay, I will, but what I remember from that game is Bayern Munich beats Chelsea's ass. Like, they totally outplayed them. Like, Toni Kroos was running the game.
The reason it was 0-0 for that long is largely attributable to two players, and that's Mikel and that's Ashley Cole.
Ashley Cole, yeah, those two players.
That's why. Because keep in mind, Terry was out. Cahill was injured. Louise was injured, but they were the center back partnership. Lampard, obviously, he wasn't what he was in 2012. And the forward line was they had Bertrand on the wing, didn't they? Yeah. Like playing left wing.
Ivanovic was suspended as well.
So yeah,
like, Mikel was arguably the best player.
The best player, outfield player. Obviously, Czech was maybe Czech was the best player, but outfield player, it was Mikel. But people just think about the Drogba.
But it was Mikel. It was. I mean, like, for me, it's the most underrated player for me. I've ever seen the most underrated players. It's damn good player. If we put in an argument of tier 2, I wouldn't mind though. But it's damn good player. It's very good.
But player. I encourage everybody, like, find the game, go watch it, and look at Mikel, and you'll see. Ooh, I didn't notice that the first time, or I didn't see that, and you'll be like, yo, without him, they don't win.
I think even Messi said it also that it's a very difficult player to play against. Lionel Messi said it, that it's very hard to play against Mikel because when you go past other midfield, when you get to Mikel, you don't want to go past him that much. He even said it himself that it's very difficult to go past John Obi Mikel. That he could
have been a different player, man.
He could have been, he could have been different for him. But the thing is, he listened to Mourinho and he settled for the role he was given.
Yeah, he listened to your goat. He listened to your goat.
I can't fault him for that.
No, see, this is my conflict because I have the Nigerian in me and then I have the Mourinho in me. The Nigerian in me.
As if Mourinho is a nation. He said, I have Nigerian, I have Mourinho in.
Like, the Nigerian in me hates Mourinho for making him a sideways pass merchant. But the Mourinho in me is like, hey, man. He made a Nigerian into a very effective player.
Hold on, but okay. Why didn't Ancelotti let him play more forward? Why didn't all of the other managers that came through Scolari.
He was already established
Avagran,
as that was the role he was already
Avagran,
established as. So like, hey,
Avagran,
man, you've
Scolari,
okay. It's like
No,
you've
but like,
done
but
what you did.
every AFCON or World Cup or whatever international
He play
tournament,
more forward. He plays
Mikel was
forward.
always playing number 10.
Number 10, yeah. He plays more as
Captain's
number 10.
armband, number 10, and he
Number
was
10,
the
and
guy
he
that was
plays
trying
very
to
well.
feed
Yeah, and he plays very
Yakubu
well.
and whoever else
Exactly.
was out
He
there.
plays damn
Oh,
good
God,
when he plays
yeah.
number 10.
Wait,
So
who?
it's
Don't
That
bring
name
that
up
nonsense
again,
to me.
fam.
Okay, wait. So let me King Gambani. HH win 2 CLs and 1 EPL in decade, or 3 EPLs and 1 CL. 2 CLs, of course.
yeah,
Yeah, 3 EPL. No, 2
No,
CLs.
yeah.
2 Champions Leagues and a Premier League over 3.
Yeah, I
Premier
mean, like,
Leagues.
no, that's a damn good decade. So, guys, let's do predictions, man. Then we'll be out of here, man. So, do you have the charts, Daniel?
Oh yes, I
Daniel,
do.
last 6 results.
All right. Against Leeds, Eddie got the prediction right. 3-1.
Oh, what did he? No, that's a lie.
3
No,
points,
he
bro.
didn't. He didn't, man.
You
Give
know
us
what?
the
You know what
three
the
things.
worst part was? He got it in the 93rd
The night,
minute.
right, I was running that thing with Werner. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. When the game was 2-1,
I had 2-1, so I was watching the game and I was like, I got this shit. I got
I
this.
was thinking of
And-
Daniel,
and
but I was
then-
like, oh no,
and then I don't know what happened on that. Like I don't know.
Kovacic, no, Kovacic get the ball
Kovacic,
from
Kovacic.
him.
put the
Kovacic in
ball
like
to
the
Werner, I was
defensive
like-
half on the left. I was like, please don't give it to Werner.
I was like, Werner, please.
And he gives it to Werner, and he puts on the Jets. He looks like the little kid from The Incredibles.
Yeah.
And Pulisic, I was half hoping that Pulisic missed, but then I saw all the Americans go crazy on my timeline. I was like, anyway. So Eddie got
Someone
3
said something
points.
here, guys. Will you rather be Mikel or Pogba? Mikel sucks with advice of Mourinho and went with his strength. Why Pogba didn't listen and still not?
Like, let's just do this.
That's actually a
let's
good.
first.
No. That's a good question though. Would you rather be
It's
Mikel
not
or
a-
Pogba?
And he went with his strength. Why Pogba didn't listen and still not a specialized player at 27 years of
Pogba
age?
didn't listen to who?
Mourinho.
Mourinho. But Mikel listened.
Do we know that Pogba didn't listen to Mourinho? Do we know that?
Yeah,
as
we
a-
do.
Because there was a rift between both of them.
I mean, yeah.
How do we know what that rift was about? There's no evidence that because he didn't listen to. No,
No,
sorry,
he
there's
was.
no evidence of
Pogba
that.
was already a made man before Mourinho
Yeah,
came. Like,
at Juventus, he was already known.
yeah,
So no, that's
that's different, man.
no.
All right. Anyways, everybody else got 1 point from that one. So, and then nobody got the Krasnodar prediction right. We all said they would win. They drew. Although, I'm sure I said
Wait.
5-1 with Kepa. So I was right about that they would score 1, but I guess all the changes.
Yeah. We all no. Basically, he's
Billy
he screwed
Gilmore
us
and
with
whatnot.
Kepa.
So yeah, he sniped
and the
us there.
changes.
So the table currently stands. Eddie is on 4 points.
Ugh.
Myself and Abdullahi are on 2, and hope you have 1 point.
He's on the board.
You're on the
Yeah,
board,
man.
man. You made it. So
Okay, so Everton.
So what are the games?
So
or
it's
just the
Everton
games? So
and,
just
and
Everton.
Wolves. No, Everton because Wolves
no.
is Tuesday.
Wolves is on
Wolves is
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is
Yeah,
that-
we could do
is that
both
a
of them. We
cup
could do
game?
both of them. No, Premier League game. Let's do
Okay.
both of them.
Yeah, no,
Let's
it's
do the two.
it's Premier League.
All right.
Premier League, yeah.
So
It's Premier League.
Everton.
Okay, now let me think about this, man.
Right.
I'm writing it down. So we got Eddie,
So Everton, Chelsea.
HH, Abdullahi, myself. Everton and Wolves.
Oh, I don't like this week, man.
It's Everton and Wolves.
It's gonna be tough.
But Wolves don't have
Everton, Wolves.
Jimenez though, so
The funniest part is we have like 6 matches in a row from December to January. Everton, Wolves, West Ham, Arsenal, and then Manchester City. That's a tough match. That's a tough December / January.
Is
I love it.
which are they home and away? Like what are the
it's
Both are away for this next round.
yikes? All right.
okay. So
Ah, man.
see, both. See, now I need to.
Who wants to go first? Abdullahi, you're on mute, by the way.
Yeah, man. Like, there's like a whole party happening in your place, man. I keep hearing.
Fine. I'll go first. The Everton game. I'm going to go 2-2 for that one. Actually, no. 2-1 Chelsea. I'll go 2-1 Chelsea again. I feel good about that. And for Wolves, 1-1.
But do you know that there's no ZH, there's no Cho? No ZH, no Cho for 2 weeks.
Abdullahi, we're just guessing. This is just guessing. So who's the best guesser? So I got 2-1 for Everton. I think they beat Everton because they tend to win at Goodison Park, if memory serves me correctly. Although they are high scoring sometimes. They'll be like 5-3s, 5-2s, 4-1s, etc. But no Matic. So. And Wolves, I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
All right, let me think.
So who's willing to step out there, man? Give me your Everton score. It's not a life decision, guys. For fuck's sake, just spit it out.
Let me go.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, I'm gonna go with 2-1 Chelsea.
All right.
Against Everton.
Eddie, use your words. Numbers.
Against Everton.
Yep. You have the lead. It's not that big a deal.
2-0.
Chelsea or Everton?
Chelsea.
Is anybody going to go on the limb and say Chelsea are going to lose one of these games? Let's see.
I feel it, but I can't
it
pick
in my
against
feelings.
Chelsea.
Abdullahi, what's your score for Everton, dog?
Dominic Calvert-Lewin will score goals. I know that. And Richarlison will score. I'm going to go 3-2 Chelsea.
3-2. I like it.
I'll give you my Chelsea Wolves. Chelsea. I'm going to say Chelsea to beat Wolves 1-0.
Eddie?
Chelsea Wolves 2-1.
All right. Abdullahi, score.
Because we play Wolf, no, what's called Jimenez, right?
Jimenez.
No Jimenez. So I'm gonna go with 3-0 Chelsea.
Wow.
And you know what? I'm flipping it. I'm saying Everton are gonna win 2-1.
Oh.
There's no way they win both these games. So after much deliberation, I'm going against Chelsea. Contra nous.
It's complicated indeed.
We can't have Chelsea winning every game, every prediction.
You know what?
Hey.
Wait. Let me change that. I'm going to say Chelsea Wolves 1-1.
Okay, so
Chelsea Wolves. I'll say that'll be 1-1.
so we're on track.
What?
I've got a loss and a draw.
Wait. You're trying to get us out of the title race. Wait, what did I say for Chelsea Everton? 2-1, right?
2-0. You said 2-0.
2-0. And what did I say for Chelsea Wolves?
2-1.
Yeah, leave it.
Leave it. Abdullahi, you're cool with 3-2 for Everton, and
Yeah,
2-0
I'm okay
for
with
Wolves.
3-2. I said 3-0 for Wolves, but I think I'm gonna change it a little bit. Let me go.
Oh, go ahead, Abdullahi.
Let me go 3-1 to Wolves to Chelsea.
Actually, you know what? Can I change? Can I say? So I'm going to say Chelsea Everton. So okay, no, Chelsea Everton 2-0. 2-0.
My paper is like fuck, bro. Jesus Christ.
Okay, no, Chelsea Everton. I'm going to say Chelsea. So, okay, final call. Chelsea Everton. Chelsea 2, Everton 0. Chelsea Wolves. Chelsea 1-1 against Wolves.
So 2-0 and 1-1.
I think we'll beat Wolves. I don't see us doing Wolves.
1-1.
Yeah, I
1-1.
think we'll beat Wolves. Everton's the game.
Everton is a little
more
bit
afraid of.
dicey because Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin will score goals. Calvert-Lewin is the top scorer in EPL, so he will score.
No,
He will surely
the
score.
thing is, his Calvert-Lewin only scores headers. I'm sorry.
You guys are right.
Exactly.
Okay,
We've got Zuma at the back.
so our
he's not-
final answers are... Jesus, this is taking 5 minutes. Our final answers. Eddie, Everton, 2-0. You sticking with that?
Yep.
Okay, Wolves, 2-1. You sticking with that?
Yep.
All right. Have hope. You got 2-0 for Everton. You feel good about that?
Yes.
All right. 1-1 Wolves. You feeling good?
No, but yes.
All right. Abdullahi, you said 3-2 for Everton, right?
Yeah. Okay. Let me go 3-1. Let me go 3-1. Because I'm in the middle because
You think Chelsea put 3 on Everton?
So
Yeah.
you have 3-1 for both.
Yeah, take him out for both. Yeah.
Okay. And you know what? You'll hit on one of those, I bet. Just like keep
3-1
saying the
for
same result.
both. Oh my god.
Yeah, take him out for both.
3-1.
So no more
Because
clean sheets for our boy Mendy.
No, because Richarlison and Calvin Lewin is in form, so both of them are in form. So one of them
And
will
I've
score.
got 2-1 Everton, and I think you guys swayed me. So I changed to 2-1 Chelsea for Wolves.
Wait,
so I think
wait.
I lost in a draw.
So what's it called? So Costly Awesome says, remember guys, you wanted to Bayern. I didn't want to Bayern. That wasn't me. Okay,
I
so
don't
It was
want
definitely
Bayern.
him.
It wasn't
I
me.
heard him say it.
okay,
I wanted
perfect.
Barcelona.
Wait, can I ask that? Why are you disappointed? Just out of curiosity, why are you disappointed? Because you want me to predict 2 wins for Chelsea? That's not happening.
I'm predicting 2 wins. I'm a complicated fan, but I predicted 2 wins. I expect us to win because the kind of player we have, we're supposed to win that game.
Well, guys, thank you very much for joining in. We'll be back here on Thursday. Actually, wait, when is Christmas? Is Christmas next Thursday?
25 on Friday.
In 2 weeks.
Okay, so next
In 2
Friday.
weeks.
Okay. Oh well, so we'll have a show. Boxing Day.
Well,
No, what's it? Christmas Eve.
Nah, yeah, you guys it's Christmas Eve. For me, it's Christmas Day. So
Oh, oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
you're like what? You're 8 hours ahead.
Who says we're being here on
about
Christmas
11
Eve, dog?
11
Like,
hours-
I didn't
11
sign up
hours
for this
ahead.
shit. Coming here on Christmas Eve.
Hey, come talk some football, man.
Marco, man. Jingle bells,
Hey.
Chelsea.
I got
jingle
presents
bells,
to
Lampard
open and
smells.
stuff.
If we do a show the week after, I'm gonna be in 2021 doing a show with you guys in 2020.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
No, that's a mind trip, man. All right, guys, man. Thank you very much. Peace out. Stay true. Stay
Hey.
low.
HH, agenda of the week. Dear Roman, Pogba is available. That's what I'm gonna say.
I want Labiu.
So you're saying for Chelsea to go for Labiel in January?
Hey,
I don't want Labiu.
if
I don't want.
if they're
Can
going
you
for
imagine-
Declan Rice,
Can you imagine the midfield of Kante, Pogba, and Havertz?
I mentioned that on Twitter, but people slated
Lampard
me
would
already.
never sign up on it because Mason Mount has to play.
You can trade Mason Mount for his best friend in West Ham.
Do you know what's would be sick? Imagine if they offer Pogba to Chelsea and Lampard says no. They say they offer a swap deal. So United wants Mason Mount in section Pogba, and Lampard says no. I'm keeping Mount thing. Do you know if I do that, I will hunt down Lampard and I will beat the crap out of him. I will literally assault him.
Do you know how much
He
United want to sell Pogba? 50 million, 50 M.
I will pay that.
I want to sell Pogba for 50 M.
Hey man, if you got that money, bro, let's
Let's
talk
Pay them
afterwards.
and run. Are you
I'm trying to
mad?
get a PlayStation.
All right, guys. We should be back here on Thursday. Hopefully, God willing. Touch wood. Peace out. Stay true. Stay
See
real.
you
Stay
guys
sexy.
next week.
Peace.
out.
Peace. 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 Peace.